convert between the US and metric systems. Now, the big thing is that there are different ratios, and what I mean by this is identity ratios. So 1 pound could be 0.45 kilograms, or 1 kilogram could be 2.2 pounds. Now, these could both be written both ways, right? So, like, it doesn't matter which one is on top. I'm just saying because these are estimates. So depending on which one you use, you might have a slightly different answer. So I'm going to show you the first problem 2 different ways just to show this. If you weigh 170 pounds, how many kilograms is that? Let's round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so when we're doing conversions with dimensional analysis, we always start with what we're given. So I'm weighing 170 pounds. I wish. Okay, great. Now we want to change that to kilograms. The important thing is that you let the label guide you. So you'll notice that I have pounds in the numerator. So pounds has to go in the denominator. Now the first thing that I'm going to do, because again I said I'm going to do this twice, is 1 pound is the same as 0.45 kilograms. That simplifies and reduces my pounds out. So my label is now kilograms. So I can do this. If both numbers are in the numerator, we simply multiply. So 170 times 0.45 gives me 76.5 kilograms. Great. Now let's do the same problem. So 170 pounds. But now let's use 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, right? Still an identity ratio, still works. So this still allows my pounds to cancel out because that's important. But now that the 2.2 is in the denominator, now I'm going to divide by 2.2. That gives me 77.27 kilograms rounded to the nearest hundredth. So when you compare these two values, they're similar. They're very close. And if we rounded to the nearest whole number, they would both be 77. So you have to kind of keep that in mind that depending on what the question is, you might be off just a touch if you use a different one. And that's totally, totally fine. Just keep in mind. Okay, let's do some more. A 2-liter bottle of soda is equivalent to how many quarts round to the nearest hundredth? Okay, so I'm starting with 2 liters. And I want to go to quarts. Well, the first ratio that I found that I like is 1 liter is 1.06 quarts. Okay, so liters, numerator to denominator, and I multiply straight across. So I end up with 2 in 1200ths quarts. 400 meters is how many miles? Okay, well, 400 meters. Well, I start with meters and I need to change. Now, there are multiple ways to get from meters to miles. You could go from meters to kilometers, kilometers to miles. My first instinct was to say, well, 1 meter is 3.28 feet. It might depend on what conversion chart you have next to you. So if you're doing these along with me and you have a different conversion chart, well, do yours and let's see how similar our answers are. So this puts me in feet, which is great, but that's not my question. My question is miles. And I know that 5,280 feet is 1 mile. Again, make sure that your labels, numerator to denominator. Let the labels guide what goes next. All right, so as we go across, I start with 400. 3.28 is in the top, so we multiply by that. And then 5,280 is in the denominator, so I divide. So anything in the bottom, we divide. Anything in the top, we multiply. And we end up with 0.24848 continues on. Nearest hundredth, so 0.25 miles. Okay, so 1/4 of a mile. 800 ounces is how many kiloliters? Okay, so we're starting with 800 ounces. Well, can I go from ounces straight to kiloliters? No, and again, it's going to depend on what you have. But I know that ounces need to be in the bottom. I know pretty easily that 8 ounces is 1 cup. So this gets me out of ounces. Now I'm in cups. Well, based off my stuff, that still doesn't help me. But 2 cups is 1 pint. Well, now I'm out of cups, but now I'm in pints. Pints still doesn't help me. Okay, well, I can then go 2 pints is 1 quart. Okay, so this is okay. And I know that 1 quart is 0.95 liters. Okay, so at least that last one, I'm now in a metric system. So let's go ahead and do the math here. So I'm at 800 divided by 8, divided by 2, divided by 2, times 0.95. And that gives me 23.75 liters. Is that my answer? Nope. So liters is in the middle. We want to go to kiloliters. So I've got deciliters, hectoliters, kiloliters. So if I start here, I need to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. So I find my decimal point and I go 1, 2, 3 to the left, put a 0 in my hump. So I end up with 0.02375 kiloliters. That was a long one, but the long ones are fun. I think that's it. Yep, that's it.